Why RuneScape's best player vanished forever?
A player named Novalife went from last place on the RuneScape high scores to rank 1 in under 2 years. But soon after,
Novalife.
he disappeared forever. So what happened? How did he defeat Zezima so quickly? And
Zezima.
why did he disappear?
Why does Zezima sound like a god? Sounds like a god name. Maybe it's because of Samarak?
Novalife's history is interesting
He is a god! Oh, okay.
for more than just beating Zezima. His account is likely the most well-documented one
shit.
ever. Soon after he started his RuneScape account, he opened a website where he would regularly post progress updates.
That's so
Those
cool.
updates included monthly screenshots of his levels, full screenshots of his bank, and even a blog where he would frequently post what he was doing.
Wait, no way, hold on. I'm back online, updated the achievements page, August 31st, 2005. I'm about halfway through the prayer level, stuck at 95, but since I haven't updated the site for a bit, I thought I'd come and fix up a few things. The end of this website is coming close, lol. It's becoming a hassle to update it, and although there's a lot of information on it, not much of it's been written is outdated. The next step is to try something new. While training prayer, I surprisingly set up a very successful farming thread on the forums. It's close to 1,000 posts now, blowing a lot of other threads out of the water. So in a way, I'm trading farming and prayer simultaneously. My brother's moving into college on this weekend, so some pictures might be delayed a bit until I return. Bro, like, I don't know what it is, man. Whenever, like, old internet, like, it just seems so, I don't know, so pure. It's so different, man.
He would frequently post what he was doing in
Just die already on your hardcore so we can at least stop seeing you walk on eggshells. I can't die, dude. I'm just unkillable. It's like wholesome, yeah. This is the peak of the forum era, yeah.
game, and later, his most personal and deepest thoughts. This is where we learned that Novalife wasn't like most other players at the time.
Okay.
Most of you watching this video likely discovered RuneScape when you were younger. For me, it was sometime before middle school. Novalife discovered it when he was much older, although
I just played WoW, dude. There was this one guy in my middle school that played RuneScape, and no offense, guys, I thought he was an absolute freak. Okay, and him being a RuneScape player definitely deterred me from playing RuneScape myself. I then got to know him a bit better in high school because we went to middle school and we went to elementary school, and in high school I actually got to know him, and he turned out to be a lot more of a freak than I anticipated. He would, oh god, he started, it was when Facebook was big, right? He made a Facebook account. We had like a high school like Facebook group for the whole high school. He made a fake Facebook account called The Nice Uncle, where he would make weekly blogs with a camera filming himself talking to the whole school like everybody was his nephews. And like making like updates about his life and like how everybody he was basically talking about politics. He was a freak, okay? He was a freak, but he was a RuneScape player, and he was a big reason why I didn't really end up getting into RuneScape. Now I've then learned that like RuneScape is pretty fun, and maybe I was also a freak all along, but that's how it is.
though he never gave an exact age, he was already in college when a friend introduced him to the game.
Yeah.
Now, like all new players, he had no clue what he was doing. The first few days, he stumbled around the world, really just taking it all in. But he was a fast learner. While most of us were stuck inside Draenor Manor, Novalife was already racking up dozens of levels a day. He managed to achieve a total level of 1,278 in under 2 months. And he didn't even have membership for half that time. Just a little under 4 months after starting the game, he was in the top 1,000 players on the high scores. Oh my god. You have to be wondering, how is this even possible? That much progress in such little time, especially back then, seemed impossible. Well,
yeah, because back then the resources were so scarce, right? And the PC, and I don't know, man.
well, it was impossible if you had a life. Anyone who's ever gone to college will know that you pretty much have free reign over everything you do for the first time in your life.
Yeah.
There's nobody telling you what to do, so you have to figure out how to do stuff on your own without dying for the first time in your life.
Adult
For
advantage.
Nova Life, this was a big advantage. Whenever class finished for the day, he could just tuck himself away in his room and play RuneScape through the night.
I was gonna say he could probably just AFK RuneScape in class, but I guess back in 2005, you didn't really have laptops in school, right? Because it was when I was like, when I started going to high school, or like 10th grade or whatever, when I was like 15, that's when laptops became a thing in school, right? I used my grandpa's old laptop. And there was all the cool girls and cool kids with their freaking MacBooks, man. And whenever I booted up my laptop, it would go. Oh, it was so bad, dude.
5 months after starting the game, he had a 1500 total level and a bank worth at least 10 million GP. A pretty crazy amount for the time. This is when his blog post would take a turn. Instead of just documenting achievements, we got to know Nova Life on a much more personal
That's so
level.
crazy.
After a bit of thinking, he came to the conclusion that letting RuneScape consume his life had made him very lonely. So he planned to take a step back and play some Age of Empires with a friend. He would continue playing RuneScape, but not as much as he used to. But it was already becoming an addiction he couldn't escape, no matter what he said.
He couldn't
In
leave.
January of 2005, Jagex released the Slayer skill into the game. A few days after, on January 30th, Nova Life made a blog post saying that training Slayer would be his new focus until he could get it to around level 85 to match his other skills. He chose 85
Just get Slayer to 85, guys. Shouldn't take too long.
specifically as it would unlock Abyssal Demons, which dropped the new best melee weapon in the game, the Abyssal Whip. But how long would this take him? Well, he hoped that he could have it done by the end of February, which was less than a month away. Even today, with all its improvements, Slayer is a very slow skill.
Yep.
For casual players, it takes months, sometimes years to reach level 85.
crazy. Fred Scar
He's been
taking
playing
from-
for around 6 months, and sure, he's gotten far, but that's such a naive goal.
Yep.
There's absolutely no way he gets anywhere even close. Oh wait, he did it. It technically took him a few days longer than he expected, but he actually got to 85 Slayer in just 36 days. Nova Life was among the very first players to be able to fight Abyssal Demons.
That's crazy.
As you can imagine, whips were going for absolutely absurd prices.
Ooh, this is probably a buttload of money back then.
Just a week after getting 85 Slayer, he had sold enough whips to earn a whopping 300 million gold. Many of these whips he didn't sell for GP, instead opting for party hats. However, he had no interest in rare
The hat investment, boys.
items, and sold them all off to fund his more expensive skills.
Okay.
A mistake he and many
Wait, party hats had risen so goddamn much. I wish I kept the hats I had instead of shelling them for pure cash, but I guess it's still okay. I'm not poor or anything. I just feel like a responsible adult. Yeah. Thank you, Bill, for the 2 months prime.
others watching this video would later regret. However,
Yeah, it's like the... Oh man, if only I would have kept on to my bitcoins, guys.
I know you
If only I didn't spend my time playing RuneScape back in 2005 and invested in Bitcoin.
won't regret dropping a like on this video. By the time Whip started to drop to more affordable prices, he was sitting on about 400 million gold.
The
This
Pokemon
whole
cards.
experience had him feeling pretty good, and Nova Life was back to playing RuneScape non-stop.
Yeah.
Over the next few months, he would make tons of progress on his account, grow his bank even more, and rented enough movies from Blockbuster that the employees started to recognize him.
Bro. Oh man, dude, that gives me so good. I remember, dude, it's Friday. Me mom gave me like, I don't know, like $10, like whatever the heck, for me and my boys to go rent some movies. And Blockbuster had this deal where you could rent 3 movies for the price of 2. So you got 1 movie to rent for free, and then you also could get a few snaggies. Like you could get some like mixed candy or like some chips in the deal. So you could get 3 movies and some snaggies, and that was just the vibe, dude. And then you had those movies for like 3 days. Oh man, dude, we're really overloaded by the ease of everything these days, aren't we? Blockbuster in Denmark, yeah, we had Blockbuster.
But if your only social interaction for the week is renting movies from a minimum wage employee who definitely doesn't want to be there, your social skills are gonna suck.
Street.
By this point, he was ranked 27, but almost nobody actually knew him, both in real life and in-game. In-game, it might not seem so bad, but being famous at the time was actually a big advantage. Popular players could buy and sell whatever items they wanted with ease. If Zezima posts that he needs 2,000 U-logs, there'd be a line around the block of players all trying to give him wood. To reach his goal of being the best player in the game, Nova Life needed to learn to socialize.
It reminds me of the video in World of Warcraft of some guy just recording himself giving Kungen a portal to Orgrimmar, and he's like, oh my god, I gave him a freaking portal, guys. Holy shit.
Perhaps RuneScape's most difficult
Yo, that's awesome, Fred Score. Welcome in.
Unofficial skill. He would end the post discussing this need by berating himself for allowing himself to get distracted by other games and not focusing as hard on RuneScape as he should have. He wanted to be rank 1. Actually, he didn't just want it, he needed it, no matter the cost. He would begin posting to the RuneScape forums, not to gain friends, but to gain the fame needed to get the materials he wanted. His private messages turned into a near unreadable wall of text, but he had to keep it open to everyone to keep business going. At this point, you could start to tell that his mindset with RuneScape was very unhealthy. When describing this strategy to gain popularity, he said this: sounds like work, only without pay.
Wait, what is... Sounds like work only without pay, but there's a slight difference that I'm working to achieve a goal that I want. Real jobs don't have that, and all the money in the world can't buy that. Dude, he was fully into this. Holy shit.
Work.
That is based, guys. That is extremely unhealthy, dude. Holy shit.
Only without
Bro thinks every job in the world is working in a supermarket. I don't know. He's not wrong. If he was rich too, that's a luxury most people don't have. I mean, having a job that can make you feel fulfilled and having you work on goals that you want is very rare. But it is possible, of course, right? Sukius, thanks for the 2 months Prime.
But there is a slight difference.
I mean, the best thing you could do, the best thing you could do in life, if you're able to work a job that makes you happy and makes you feel fulfilled, that's insane, right?
That I'm working to achieve a goal that I want. Real jobs don't have that, and all the money in the world can't buy that. This was around the time Nova graduated from college, and his only plan seemed to be keep playing RuneScape. A few more months would pass, and by the 1-year anniversary of Nova creating his account, he was rank 10 on the high scores. At this point, he was sleeping less than 6 hours a night, mainly to level up the newly released farming skill, although he again said he would
trying to play the game a little more slowly. Maybe I'm already legally insane.
Take the game more slowly.
Bro, my man is saying, oh god, he went way too deep into the rabbit hole, chat. It's not even the rabbit hole, it's the rabbit canyon. He is in it.
Especially now that he was losing touch with the outside world, his blog post showed that's not what happened. Instead of taking time away from the game, he seemed to play the same amounts, if not more. On a positive note, he began posting guides for many of the skills he had mastered. At the time, this was a huge help to players who came across his site, as the wiki didn't exist yet, and despite being just one player, he was more knowledgeable than most fan sites.
That's fucking crazy, actually. My man dedicated his whole life to RuneScape. That's insane.
Fortunately, as Nova continued to rack up 99s, his mental and physical health would continue to deteriorate. He noticed that he stopped taking breaks entirely, getting up from the computer just to eat or use the bathroom. He tried learning to play standing up too, as sitting for so long became painful, but instead of easing into it, he did a 6-hour session
I guess human legs can only withstand so much. I couldn't stand it, no puns intended. After about 6 hours, I had to sit down from the strain. Or maybe I'm just weak.
Standing. Before he was so strained, he had to sit down. Although his real life was suffering, he was considered a legend on RuneScape.
And the craziest thing is, like, nowadays, a lot of people that, like, play this much, a lot of them are streamers, right? There's a lot of people that, like, make content and do... He just did it just to fucking grind. It's just a grind, dude. That's insane. Like, back then, like, Different fucking world, dude. Jogurt 1.0. Jogurt could be like this, man. Jogurt is a freak as well. He's an absolute freak.
At this point, he'd become
I mean that in the nicest way possible, by the way, guys. It's a good freak.
friends with players like Zezima and Chessie018, was rank 3 in the game, and had more fame than he could handle.
Damn.
But he still didn't have that rank 1 spot.
Yeah.
Despite his drive for rank 1, you could tell from his posts that RuneScape was starting to grow old. Although he had plenty of goals left, even beyond just reaching rank 1, he started to think that maybe there was more to life than just RuneScape.
Okay.
His family and friends were also starting to become concerned.
Yeah.
Since graduating college, he had yet to find a job. He had moved home and was just playing RuneScape all day, every day in his bedroom. Despite this making him miserable, he pushed on. He did some things.
He's being so honest as well on the blog. Like he's posting about like his mental health and how he's like, that's actually insane.
And decided that involving himself more in the game's community would do some good for his mental health. He began helping other players learn skills in-game and make more frequent appearances at his clan events.
Because I feel like a lot of the old school like legends of like, you know, at least in WoW, like Swifty and like Kung and all those guys, they were more so seen like these like gaming gods, right? You weren't really like personal with them, but this is like pretty real. What a good video to watch before playing RuneScape for 6 hours. Oh, Pilata, I'm gonna freaking choke you. Okay, let's keep watching.
And even played his first game of Castle Wars. But his desire to be rank 1 would quickly take over again. But this time, he was in the final stretch. He had passed iconic players like You Love Me, Yogo-sun, and the Old Knight, and was now sitting at rank 2, although the competition was still fierce. You Love Me was racking up millions of cooking XP every day, and it seemed near impossible for Nova to keep up. If he couldn't outpace her, he'd not only lose the rank 2 spot, he'd be even further from his goal of rank 1. At this point, Nova was playing 12 hours a day, and still beat himself up that
I continue to support myself with the amount of time I'm able. Oh god.
It wasn't enough to keep up. But to be fair, it was later discovered that You Love Me was a husband and wife team who would actually just take turns playing. So I'm kind of blown away that he managed to stay ahead of them at all.
Dude, he outgrinded a duo.
Soon after this, his blog post took a very different tone. Out of nowhere, Nova Life went from utter despair about potentially losing his rank to passing Zezima and reaching rank 1. Luckily for Nova, Zezima had temporarily decided to stop competing for ranks, making it very easy for Nova to take his place. Overnight, he was being crowded and spammed with messages everywhere he went, although he didn't enjoy all the attention.
Wait, hold on. Look at that XP though. Even though Nova Life is higher level, look at fucking Sezima's XP. Some of these levels that Zezima has is like fucking crazy. Oh, it might be attack XP.
As you could tell from his socialization ideology, he had finally accomplished his goal. You'd think at this point he could maybe be done. He could finally get started in the real world, but instead, he kept playing. Perhaps reaching rank 1 wasn't as rewarding as he hoped, because less than 3 weeks later, he was back at rank 2. He spent more time doing things for fun, and his future goals list had no mention of regaining his rank. But he just felt lost. He didn't know what to do next. He knew that he probably should have quit long ago, or at least after he reached rank 1, but at this point, he was in too deep. He set his sights on getting his cooking XP to the maximum of 200 million XP, but even that didn't fill the void, so he went for 200 million fletching.
Bro,
that, unsurprisingly, didn't help either. Nothing he tried was making him happy. So just
imagine going for 200. Pilata, I know you're grinding 200 skills. Like, what are you, bro?
4 months after originally reaching rank 1, he announced that he was quitting for good. A few days later, he stopped his membership from renewing again and began his last month in RuneScape. Before his membership ran out, he bought his first party hat, not including the ones he traded whips for, achieved his goal of 200 million fletching, and he even gained enough XP to be rank 1 just one last time. Unlike previous promises to cut back on his time spent in game, this time seemed for real. He would only return to the game for some of its holiday events over the next few years. Throughout his later blog posts, he would express that he had the desire to return to RuneScape multiple times, but he knew that he couldn't or shouldn't.
Dude, honestly, respect for realizing that he can't control it, because it seems to me like this was just he just couldn't control the amount of like whenever he started playing, he just couldn't stop, right? And the fact that he can realize that and can see that it's not good for him is good. I think it is. He quits his addiction because it can become too much, right? Like playing a game for fun and having it be a good pastime can be good, but you don't want it to take over your whole life, right? Where like it is all you do.
2009, he had lost all interest in the game.
Yeah.
He had missed every holiday event that year and closed his website soon after. Although he's returned to the game briefly a few times, he's never stuck around. RuneScape is a great and much needed escape from reality, but it can easily become your only reality if you're not careful. This video was probably a bit of a downer, so check out the video on the right.
It was a good video. I liked it.
Areas that no other player in RuneScape has ever visited.
I honestly like I really like this video. It is obviously a bit of like a darker tone and stuff like that, but quite interesting to see back in the day how much these like legends of the game, like how much they, I guess, sacrificed in a way to become as great as they were, right? It's fun to learn a bit of old lore. Yeah, it's really cool because these are obviously like legends of the old school game. That's insane though. Didn't realize we had a computer, we could have 15 minutes of library and be able to play for an hour. We would talk about what we're going to do the whole day, and we were talking about what we accomplished all the way back. Every little thing was an accomplishment. Yeah, dude, back when I played, dude, when I was a kid, I could play so little. I remember playing so many freaking games, but I never got anywhere in any game because I only got to play for like freaking like, I don't know, like an hour max or something like that, right? I remember I played a game. Oh man, maybe you guys won't know what this is. I played this game. Dude, I played Tomba. And I remember I spent so fucking long in this game, right? But I recently looked back into it. I didn't get further than like the first level, like basically the introduction. And there is so much more to this level. But this game is such a big part of my childhood, and I barely even got into it. But regardless, guys, check out Colonello. Awesome freaking RuneScape videos. So cool, man. Like, it's so interesting to hear some of these old school legends of the game and like how they became to be, right? It's insane.